This was a man that was feeble, weak. He could not become anything. They made him king. He was even afraid. He doesn't even know what to do. He beckoned upon God and called, and God hearkened. And when God hearkened, God came. Okay, no problem. You lure me, no problem. And God began to help him. God began to help him. His fame spread. He became so popular. They know about the exploit of this king. In fact, he built one of the strongest defense systems that cannot be penetrated. Because then kingdoms are known by their economy and their defense. And by that, his problem began when God made him strong. And immediately he becomes strong. Read, let's go. (16) But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. For he transgressed against the Lord his God, and went into the temple to burn incense upon the altar of incense. And Azariah, the priest, went in after him, and with him 80 priests of the Lord. 80 priests withheld him. And these priests were valiant men, and they withstood Uzziah the king, and said unto him, it is pertaining not unto thee, Uzziah, to burn incense to the Lord, but to the priests, the sons of Aaron, that are consecrated to burn incense. Go out of the sanctuary, for thou art trespassed, neither shall it be to thy honor unto the Lord. Then Uzziah was wroth, and had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was wroth with his priest, the leprosy even rose up in his forehead, and upon his forehead before the priest in the house of the Lord, from beside the incense altar. Nasarawa, the chief of all the priests, looked upon him, and behold, he was leprous in his forehead. And they thrust him out from the temple. If not, the Lord will smite him. Imagine the story of a king. You are not qualified, you are nothing. God looked upon you, and God marvelously helped you. But immediately when God helped you, now you are strong. Your problem began the day you were strong. It then means in the days of strength, we must be more careful than in the days of weakness. I know they tell you to be careful when you are weak. If you have the power to kill all of us here, we should be more afraid of you. Because a man with power to do anything may hardly be restrained. If any of you can turn us to chicken, maybe you look at me and say, Apostle Philip is talking too much. You do like this. I will now turn to chicken. Say, we are out of this place. Because it's possible that just because you have power, you feel you can do anything you want to do with it. That was the challenge. He didn't know that it was God that lifted him, and he neglected the stone of help. When he neglected the stone of help, he went after it. He doesn't know that the stone is too strong to break it. 80 priests say, no, it's not your job, O king. He still refused. He went. Leprosy hit him. In the Old Testament, most of the punishment that God gives people are 3. Leprosy, which is, of course, poverty, barrenness, and I think sickness and disease, something like that. Most of this sickness, leprosy, and the rest were real punishment from God. And as his life ended, another person will begin. Isaiah. Go with me to the book of Isaiah 6. In Isaiah 6, from 1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I also saw the Lord sitting upon the throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. That means Isaiah the prophet was together with those 80 priests that were with telling Uzziah, please don't try this. And immediately God killed Uzziah. God beckoned upon Isaiah. In the midst, when God rejects someone, he pick up another. And he said, 2. Above each stood the seraphims, each had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, with 2 they did fly. Yes? And one cried unto one, saying, Holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the post of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Of course, then flew one of the seraphims. They have to now help him. Now Isaiah need to receive Ebenezer. If not, him too will be killed as Uzziah was killed. Because what Isaiah was describing here was what happened that killed Uzziah. Because in that year that Uzziah was to die, we all were part of the priest and we were in the temple. He came and transgressed. When he transgressed, God came to kill him. What happened was that the cloud of God covered everywhere. There was smoke. Seraphims were around. The Lord of hosts came himself. And when the Lord of hosts came, he behold upon Uzziah, I have made thee so. Thou art the anointed cherub. I have set thee so. If I have set thee so, I can bring you down from where I set thee. God took him up. He refused to understand the stone to remain, and that God brought him down. And immediately Isaiah saw what happened. When the seraphim began to cry, Holy, holy, he now down upon them suddenly. That in the presence of God, in the holies of holies, no one is permitted to make mistake. Mistake comes with judgment instantly. There are some mistakes you can do. There is a privilege for forgiveness in the outer court. In the holies of holies, there is no place for that. That's why there are certain mistakes that people make and the ointment go and it looks as though God has never touched their life before. Because now you are partaking, you have seen deeper matters. It's not expected of you, O King Uzziah. You knew the stone of help. What happened to you? How comes your heart was lifted up to vanity? Because of that, you'll be brought down to your destruction. Now you want to rise like one of them, Lucifer. The same pattern. Put upon the coals of fire for purification. Iniquity was found in thee.